Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Bears' long wait is coming to an end as they'll put a foot to it and the season will get underway. And he's coming out of the end zone. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Offense changing the play. To the air, it's Owens. Coming out aggressively. He's got it at the 30. Touchdown Sooner. Made the grab and took it on in for the score. The Sooner Schooner doesn't have a tight turning radius, but it can rev up the Oklahoma crowd, David.
Man, get them started, get them going early, test the limits, get in the end zone, get these people going bananas, just safely. You know, go bananas, go crazy, but, you know, don't do too much and don't, fall over in your seats.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Makes the grab. It's Shelton. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. Let's talk for a second about Baylor. The good news about starting the season outside the top 25, not a lot of lofty expectations. You can sneak up on a few teams, but sooner or later, you're going to want to get that attention and get into those rankings.
A lot more, but it's not impossible. In recent years, you saw it with Indiana coming out of absolutely nowhere. You saw it back in the day with USF. You've seen it with Rutgers. Like, in the past, you can do it. You can put it together, gain some momentum, but it starts with this game right here.
TCU reached the national championship game a few years back. No one expected much of them that season either, so you never know. What's important is what people believe inside your own locker room. This team thinks they can do some really special things this year, and they get a chance to start strong here in week 1.
Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5. And the Bears will punt this one away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. Now the Oklahoma offense will go back to work. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. Looking for space, it's Fields. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. At some point, with all of the transfer portal talk and guys going in and out, you can score one for continuity with this ball club, can't you, David?
That means your system and your culture is working, because these guys so often are just going for the next opportunity, the next bag of money. Nice job. They kept their guys that they recruited, that they love.
Yeah, it sounds so cliche.
Sends it downfield. And a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion.
What a start for this offense throwing the ball. I love how they've come out in this game, and they've been aggressive. They've already scored a touchdown, and here they are taking another shot and getting a big play. If you're on defense, you have got to find a way to slow this quarterback down.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Back to throw, it's Owens. Trying to ball his way in. Give him 6. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and now this offense building that lead. It's still the first half, but I'll tell you what, showing some glimpses of why they can become a same, right? Continue to do what you're doing. Take care of the football. This offense has looked really good in the first half.
And he's going to try to return this one. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3. Guys, when you think about the big picture for Baylor, one of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat. And the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team. But, David, let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation at this program to win. And if he doesn't start fast this year, that hot seat's only going to get hot.
No, and then the chirping starts, and everybody's going to be talking about his job. The pressure builds, and then what happens? Sometimes you lose the locker room, so important to get off to a good start. Try to quiet some of those haters and some of those doubters.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
Well, you're seeing a complete effort right now by this football team. Their offense has been doing their part, scoring points. They've got a big lead, and the defense right now is just shutting the opponent out. So good against the run and so athletic, and they have the ability to rush the passer. As you saw right there, getting the sack. We're only in the first quarter, but they're right now winning this game in all 3 phases.
Let's talk for a second about Baylor. Big moment in recruiting last week. 4-star defensive back gives a verbal commitment. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Obviously, the adjustment of speed is a big deal, but that's why you go get a 4-star guy like this. I mean, he's got speed. He plays so many DBs at one time. This is a position I feel like you can transition to college really well. The expectations for him are going to be high.
They bring him down right at the 45. Not enough to move the sticks, but maybe close enough to go for it here on 4th.
Well, you get the completion, and now it's decision time for the head coach, right? This is a massive one, too. 4th and short on your own end of the field. What do you do?
And how about this lower intestinal fortitude? 4th and 1 in your own territory, and they're going. They'll run for it. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down.
And a lot of times when you're in your own territory and it's 4th and 1, you see the offense try to draw people off sides. No, sir. They say, we're going to get this thing. We need 1 yard. We got 1 yard. We worked on it all week. They were successful. Nice aggressiveness early in their own territory.
The Bears are marching down the field. Caught in the backfield. It's Ncaa. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39. And the Bears will have it 1st and 10. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
I want to make sure I know where the playmakers are. And I can't let guys like this guy slip out of the backfield and make big plays against me. Good job being aware that they can throw the ball to the running back, closing space, and getting that fast dude on the ground.
The Bears trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Hauls it in. And they get to him and knock him down to prevent a bigger gain.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Sooner Nation bearing down on this offense on this huge 3rd down play. Quarterback keeps it. Makes it past the marker. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on 1st down.
I'm not sure what the quarterback saw on that one, but that was a very quick decision to take off and run with it to try to get his offense some positive yards.
And the Bears pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. White wants to throw it. Wide open downfield. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Georgia Southern is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. This program has picked itself up before, and it's capable of it again today. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Fresno State. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Opening play of this drive comes from the 26-yard line. Sends it back in motion. Wants to throw on 1st down. With the catch, it's Fields. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. And the Sooners with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Wants to adjust the pattern. Wants to go up top. Tight end finds a soft spot. Knocked out of bounds after a good gain on that one. They'll spot it at the 33.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Now they'll run the draw. This freshman makes the stop at... Short gain. We reached the quarter break with Oklahoma on top. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the 2nd quarter. Tried to pound it on 1st down, now back to the line. The give out of the gun. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Owens. Can't made the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
The Sooners will try to convert on fourth down. Wide receiver going in motion. They're throwing for it on fourth down. Gets drilled as he releases it, and the ball just trickles to the ground.
Great coverage on that fourth down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
Keep it on the ground. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain.
Well, this running back has been the only guy obviously who's touched the ball these first 2 plays. He's looked pretty good. I think it's safe to say everybody in the stadium here on third down expecting him to get the ball again.
The Sooner fans booming. A cacophony of noise at the Palace on the carry on third down. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line.
Well, the running back did a nice job there, keeping his feet moving. He was able to drag some defenders with him to get that first down.
The Bears will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll give it to the back. Looking for room at the 30. Goes out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the edge of the red zone right at the 20.
And busting big runs like this, we always talk about the running backs, but it's the big boys up front, paving their lanes, those receivers gluing on those DBs that make these plays really go for big yardage.
And how about those receivers? Not just the glamour of catching passes, but doing some dirty work, too.
No doubt. When they get on those guys in the 2nd level and get on those DBs, that's when you break those big, long runs.
Well, you're down here in the red zone. You know you've got to be able to run the football. So good call going with the toss play. Nice blocking up front. Good patience by the back finding his crease.
They go to the ground. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
That's great awareness by the running back, understanding where the first down marker is and doing whatever it takes to get it.
And the Bears trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. White going to attack through the air. Quick completion on the out. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
Well, short completion setting up third down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. On the move. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Baylor!
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
And he knocked that one right down the middle. And that extra point was good, and we're all tied up here in the 2nd. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. So Oklahoma arms the offense. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On first down, finding positive points.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
Back to pass on second down. Unloads it downfield. Reels it in down the left side. He's into the open down the middle. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown Sooners.
And that's his second receiving touchdown of the game. My man is just finding pay dirt. Tell you what, he's the kind of guys that you continue to feature throughout a game when he can do this kind of damage after he catches the football.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. He stopped at the 23, a couple of yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. They'll try to answer that last score with one of their own. A chance here to tie the game with a touchdown drive. He'll pitch it. Powers through the defender. Gets the nose of the ball to the 25, give him one. Guys, when you think about the big picture for Baylor, everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
He's now up to 64 yards on the ground, and he wanted to make a first impression, and he's doing that in this opening game. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Bears can really attack on this second and short. White wants to throw it. Catch in the middle. It's Ncaa. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
And if you had any questions about this quarterback's arm talent, now you've got your answer. Wow.
And the Bears have it with a 1st and 10. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And how about the timing of the linebacker on the blitz to get in the backfield and get the tackle for loss?
Is there anything better for a linebacker than to run on a blitz and nobody's home except the back?
Such a great feeling when the Moses parts the Red Sea and the hole opens up and you go fill it.
Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short gain there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down. Sooner Nation bearing down on this offense on this huge 3rd down play. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the catch. It's Shelton. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on second down. Got it behind the line. It's Ncaa. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't get any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play down the line. Just keep that in mind.
Using his feet. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
You know, we talk about quarterbacks having to make quick decisions, and I think you saw it on that play. Nobody opened downfield, and he just decided to take off.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. White going to attack through the air. Going for 6. And he wanted to get the score right there, but it falls incomplete.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder, but the snapping the football, everybody being on time, man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Snap it to the back. Nice move to keep running. He now has 80 yards rushing in this first half, and he is making quite the impression in the opener.
And how about this offense deciding to run the football, be physical, find a hole, get downhill, Palmer, and get the first down?
Yeah, and it helps, too, when you've got a running back like this guy. He just knows how to fall forward and get those hidden yards. Big weapon in this offense.
And this offense will have to feel pretty good about itself if it can tie the game before halftime. First and goal. The secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. A run for the quarterback. Touchdown Bears! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Man, that's frustrating as a defense because you got to stop the run. There's a good chance they're running the football here in this situation, trying to punch it in the end zone. You're trying to go to the half with a little bit of momentum. This defense just couldn't make the play to get off the field.
And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he's going to bring this one out. He stopped at the 23, a couple of yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking for a man. It's Owens. Finds his big tight end. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Looking to throw on first down. Pressure coming. Unleashes one deep. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Sooners will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. Out of the end zone. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. First drive of the second half, always fun to watch. You see what type of tweaks were made at the half, especially when you're locked up in a ball game like this one.
Yeah, and it's been a good game. I mean, it's been a little bit of back and forth and a feeling out process. And now once you get in the second half, who's going to get aggressive, Palmer? Who's going to take some shots, try to make some plays, and really go for it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think as play callers right now, you learn a lot about these coaching staffs with respect to who does make the best adjustments. There's a lot of coaches that believe we're just going to be who we are. We're going to keep doing what we do. We're just going to do it better. But then there are others that tweak things a little bit on offense and on defense. We're going to find out here.
Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. Makes the catch. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide. And a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
Sooner fans booming. A cacophony of noise at the Palace on the Prairie on third down. White wants to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. Got it in the middle. It's Ncaa. Now they'll really try to get this drive going. Good execution on third down as they have it 1st and 10 at the 31. The Bears come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll leave it with him. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Goodness gracious, if you blinked, you missed it. Horrible blocking up front. Defender gets in there so fast.
Did he line up in the backfield? They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to fire. Rushes on him. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
It's hard enough to get this guy on the ground once. That's his 2nd sack of the day. Nice job getting in the backfield, not getting deceived by this guy's speed, because we've seen this QB, man. He can make people miss. Nice job getting him on the ground for the 2nd time today.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. It's incomplete, and this ought to be a boost of confidence for this defense, getting a stop against these guys on 3rd down. And the Bears send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Well, what that punt lacked in height, it made up for by being short. And the returner goes down. Here comes the Sooner offense back onto the field. The give from the gun. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
To the air, it's Owens. Under fire. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Deep shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Oklahoma! An epic comeback. They'll talk about this one forever if they can hold on, but they're on top right now.
this guy having himself a day. Spread the ball around. Touchdowns, Palooza. What a nice day.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Baylor has it back, and here comes the Bear offense. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, hoping for better fortune this time around. The give to the back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. That time the defense called it at the perfect time. The linebacker able to make the stop on a short game.
And from the offense's perspective, that's probably making a little something out of nothing. They think there's room to run to the right here. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
These running backs nowadays, they're built so low to the ground, thick and compact, but fast and shifty. They're just so hard to tackle. And you can see he just does a great job breaking tackles, breaking tackles. He does this consistently. That's why he's really hard to stop at the running back spot.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up.
A lot of quarterbacks have so much confidence that they can fit the ball in tight windows. How about the defensive player right here making an unbelievable interception, forcing the turnover, big play, big momentum swing.
Here comes the Oklahoma offense. Took the last drive in for a touchdown. They'll try to do it again on this one. Looking to throw, it's Owens. Pocket breaking down. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Unloads to the right. Makes the grab. He gets it in. Touchdown Sooners. He has been surgical. Precision passes. Using the scalpel, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for it. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying his defense.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. The Baylor offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Lost 5 on that first play, and now it's 2nd and 15. White going to attack through the air. The sure hands, it's Shelton. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
On third down, he drops to throw. Extending the play. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. So in their own territory, on 4th and inches, the offense will stay on the field. Trying to keep the drive alive. Picks up the first down. All down
That's about as risky as it can get as a head coach. Early in the game, 4th down, deep in your own end, and you go for it. Nice job, offense.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Here comes the heat. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit.
This quarterback, man, looks like he's playing angry right now. He did not like that interception he threw the last time out on the field. You could see on the sidelines, guys. He could not wait to get back out there, and that time it was like he was running mad. I don't even know if he really wanted to throw that ball. He just wanted to take off, scramble, go get the 1st down.
They've got him looking run, but they're going to throw it. Fires to the middle. That one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. White wants to throw it. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
You got to put that one on the receiver. That's just a flat-out drop. That's a good throw by the quarterback. That's a catch that receiver needs to make.
Sooner Nation bearing down on this offense on this huge 3rd down play. From the gun, wants to pass. Grabbed in the middle, it's Thurman. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
So surprised we have not been calling this guy's name more. He's one of the best tight ends in the country, but give the defense credit. They have had an outstanding game plan, limiting him so far. That's only his 2nd catch of the game.
A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down, trailing by double figures. He'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Big pickup there, and this offense is feeling it.
Well, that tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. 4th down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
The Bears back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Punch it out of the air. Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that right there.
Oh, they're after him. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
One of the big risks about being in an empty set is that you don't have tight ends or running backs helping you out in pass protection. And that time the quarterback got hit right before he let it go, and that's why that ball fell incomplete.
This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. White going to attack through the air. Looking to the end zone. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover.
And if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field, because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
This senior showed some serious arm strength, firing that one in for the 1st down. They really got things moving on this drive. Second play of the drive comes from the 37. To the air on 1st down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. This time he's got him. Gets it out across the 40. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 42 as this offense trying to put together a good drive. As they get set to snap it. Time winding down here in the quarter. At the end of the period, Oklahoma has the lead. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. Direct snap. Got room to work. Speeding down the left side. Touchdown, Oklahoma! How about this back staying on track and getting it in on the option?
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. And he's going to bring this one out. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Back, and here comes the Bear offense. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game. If you're going to win it, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. White wants to throw it. Quick screen to the speedster out wide. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down marker. Let's talk for a second about Baylor. Unless there is a dramatic turn of events, this is not going to be a way to cool off that hot seat.
And they're going to have to be able to handle adversity and handle the out.
There he goes. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered, an explosive play to the 40. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Bringing the heat. Crosses the 30. He's got away. They finally corral him, but he turns that into a big gain and a 1st down. And the Bears will hustle to the line. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Quarterback strolling away from heat. And they'll wrap him up.
Man, as a defense, a lot of times you're coming with the game and you're just trying to limit the damage when you play a really great quarterback. And they've done more than that today. They have dominated this football game. The offense has carried their weight, and this is looking like a great outcome.
Here's a heat. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's pass, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback. And DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
The Sooner offense returns to the field. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. To throw, it's Owens. Showing the arm strength down the left side. Makes the grab deep. And it looked as if he might take that one all the way to the house. Just ran out of a little steam, and the defense finally got it. That kind of play will send a surge of energy through your offense. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 40. Running back searching for a hole. Just enough room to gain a couple down to the 34.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. Knocked down at the 29 after a pickup of 4.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Inside the 50, and into the end zone, and he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown Sooners!
And the second half looking a lot like the first half, and this lead continues to build. How about the rhythm of this offense? They are showing you a little bit of everything. What they worked on in the offseason has been right on point, and game one going exactly how they scripted.
And the extra point is good. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he'll bring it out to the end zone. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. Here comes the Baylor offense back onto the field. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did on the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? The Bears come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. White going to attack through the air. Grabbed over the middle. It's Ncaa. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38. And the Bears want to move quickly.
And it's tough on the defense there. 3rd down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31, and a big pickup on that one.
Let's go. We got some life. We made a big play, something to build off of. We need a lot of points, and we need them quickly. Time's running out. We're trailing big in this ballgame.
Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the wideout. It's caught downfield. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Got the back over the middle. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6. The Bears had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
We've seen this guy have tons of success. He had over 100 yards right before that run, but defense gets the better of him there. Nice job of adjusting up front. Good job being physical by that D-line, too.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line.
And this defense is more than happy with the offense running the football. They've done a great job today. I mean, they've really made this offense work so hard, earn everything they've gotten, and that's why this lead is ballooned like it has.
They've pushed it forward down to the 5, but now looking at 3rd and goal. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Little touch pass to the receiver. And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Baylor!
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
And he added the extra point. At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. Quick timeout by the defense here, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. They'd hope to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
So here comes the Oklahoma offense. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today too, David. They had a really good game plan coming in this one. They went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and to keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them. Or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
They'll ride the hot hand. Snuffed out behind the line of scrimmage, and we have not seen much of that. What a day he's had so far. And the Sooners now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. He'll try the left side. He'll go out of bounds right at the 23-yard line. Quite a bit of work to do on third down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. The give to the back. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
Loss of one play. Offense facing fourth down. Ready, fight.
Plenty of fireworks in this one. A lot of points. They always talk about having the chalk last, and it seemed like whoever was on offense had the last laugh.
It's amazing how much offenses have just boomed in college football. So good, so many ways to hurt you, and you saw both of these offenses put on a show today, Jess.
Dave, we talked to both of these coaching staffs, and their defensive coordinators were losing sleep all week. They knew this was going to be a tough task ahead of them. So much speed, so much firepower on both of these offenses. And, man, we saw that here today.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.